How's that? I'd like to call Finance and Ways and Means Appropriations Subcommittee to order. It's March 24th, 2025. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Is there a Madam Clerk? Okay. Thank you.
You go ahead, push your
All right. We have enough to go, I think. Are there any personal orders or announcements from folks up here?
You need to have the clerk call the roll.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have 4 members present.
Thank you so much. Today we're going to hear presentations of appropriations amendment requests by those members that wish to be present. Please note these hearings are for informational purposes only and no votes will be taken here. We will call members in order that they arrived in the room, and please limit your comments to about 2 minutes per amendment. We have many. No outside testimony will be allowed. I think there is $1.2 billion in requests, and we have allotted $1,100.50. Some of the members on this committee have taken up $1,100, so that leaves $50.50. Good luck. So first up today is Leader Lambert. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on your allocation, you're going to be a little shy on my first one here. So this is actually $325,000 in 3 installments. So this is a request for one-time money for this to be 1 out of 3. The Jason Foundation is a fantastic organization that helps save lives. They do suicide prevention for teenagers. It's item number 126. And I would just humbly request that as you are going through deliberations on this, that you consider this one. Item number 127 is also by me. This is decisions, choices, and options. It would be $200,000. This organization does, it helps teenagers understand both parenting and pregnancy and really the real life repercussions and some very adult decisions that some of these teenagers will make. And they do a very good job of that. And so in their programs, they have proven to reduce teen pregnancy through wise decision making and through better understanding of some of the ramifications of their actions. So item number 128 is for the Hermitage, Andrew Jackson's home. That is $6.2 million in non-recurring. If you have not visited the Hermitage, please, for goodness sakes, go over and do that. Mr. Chairman, it was built right about the time you were born, and it's fantastic. It was very, very nice. And if you've not been there, you really should check it out. It is worthy of our investment. And it has some repairs and some needs there. The last one I have, Mr. Chairman, is item number 129. This is for the adult healthcare safety net. This is $3 million non-recurring. Our healthcare safety net is there because of the fact that we are in deep need of indigent healthcare in this state, and the safety net is there in some areas that really have some holes for healthcare needs in the state of Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, that is my presentation.
Thank you, Leader.
Thank you, Chairman.
Next up is Chairman Terry. I might mention too, if you can make sure that you got the item number and the page number, it will help us a lot.
All right. Thank you, Chairman and committee. This is item number, wow, I don't have my glasses, but it's item number 194. And it looks like I can't tell what page number that's on. Page 11. Okay, you ready? All right, thank you. Thank you, Chairman and committee. Carrying this for the University of Tennessee system. They're requesting $10.3 million non-recurring to their system for their health science center and their veterinary school. And while the governor's proposed investment in his budget does include operational support for medical education unit operations, it does not allocate funding for replacing outdated medical training equipment. And so this need goes beyond the general equipment like furniture or computers. It specifically involves specialized clinical training tools such as practice mannequins, ultrasound machines, and medical imaging devices. And this was vetted through and recommended by THEC. That's the first one. All right. Second item is item number 195, and this is for the Native American Indian Association. They've been working on building the region's first ever Circle of Life Indian Cultural Center. The center will house a library, museum, administrative offices, and community meeting space dedicated to Native American history and culture. Funds raised to date for the center total $1.3 million, and the land to build the center has been acquired. We're asking for a grant to the NAIA of $1 million for the construction of the Circle of Life Indian Cultural Center.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next up is Representative Stinnett. It's on page 10, which is item 191, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman. Yes, it's 191 is about the Boys and Girls Club. It's in the governor's budget for $11 million. My position is I wanted to support that because of the things the Boys and Girls Club does for not only for helping the kids when they out of school, but also helping mom and dad. And it supports, actually this supports cheap baby care after school. And they really do a fine job. And I'm hoping that that gets funded through the governor's request and mine. 192 is the Blount County Community Action Agency. It's for $5,000. The agency says Blount County, but it is the only thing that Blount County supplies for that organization is a building that they lease to us for $1. I have been the chairman of that committee. That's more, you would probably know, it would make more sense if I said Meals on Wheels. They feed 570 folks a day in Blount County, and they do it all through grants. So they could, they would appreciate the extra money. 193 is Helen Ross McNabb. It's for $3,500,000. 2 weeks ago, they broke ground in Blount County to build a 64-bed unit to try to help folks who are in our jail, who don't need to be in our jail. They need to be in a hospital. And hopefully we can, what Helen Ross McNabb's trying to do is support the folks who need, not only because of drugs, but mental health, help those folks get the care they need so we can get them back being tax-paying citizens in our community. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Next up is Representative Sherrill. It's page 10, starting off with item 186. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Item 186 is asking for $300,000, and that's for TCAT in Crossville, Cumberland County, to do some classes in White County Academy. So we're asking for $300,000 for that. And item 187 is to help with a hangar in Warren County, where they're wanting to start teaching aviation to help students learn more about aviation flying. That's $3 million. And then item 188 is for Bondycroft Fire Department, where they have purchased a fire engine, and they're needing to build a building onto the existing fire department that's there in front of the Bondycroft School, and that's $325,000. And then item 189 is for the city of McMinnville, where Mark Gwynn used to be the TBI director. They're wanting to do a culture center there in McMinnville to remember him, and that's for $2 million.
Okay, thank you, Representative Sherrill. Up next is
Thank you.
Speaker Pro Tem Marsh. It's number 139, page 8.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first one on this one is item 139. It is for the Science Alliance. And this budget amendment is for $900,000 non-recurring for the 6 Tennessee Science Alliance centers that are spread across the state. The Science Alliance program reaches all 95 counties, providing valuable STEM education experiences for students. This request for an additional $900,000 equals out to $300,000 per educational center. In 2023 and 24, the consortium reached over 184,000 Tennessee students in 901 schools. Item 140 is $300,000 for the dead stock removal for the South Central Tennessee Development District, which covers 13 counties. We've been removing dead stock for many years. We're hoping this is going to be in ag's budget this year, but we're not sure. So we're asking for this 300 to help remove all that dead animal off our southern farms. Item 141 is $10,500 for the Fallen Firefighters Memorial down in our Fire Academy in Bedford County. We normally get $10,500 every year, and we're asking for that again. Item, let's see, 142 is $400,000 from Farm to Tout program. The purpose of this funding is to help drive new markets for farmers to work with Tennessee breweries by increasing the supply of products utilized in brewing. This program is entering the 5th year and has been successful by already engaging farmers in over 34 communities across Tennessee. The program was funded for 3 years at the same level of funding, $400,000 last year, $350,000 the first year, but it was not included in last year's budget. We're hoping to restart that this year. And the last one is $300,000 for South Central Human Resources Agency to be used matching for a $700,000 USDA grant for the Meals on Wheels and the Senior Nutrition Program. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Speaker. Next up is Representative Renee Jones, item number 118, page 7. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the item 18 is for 15,000 in non-recurring, and it's going to be used to raise memorial stones at the Veterans Memorial Park in Irwin, which will be above ground. 19 is for $1,365,000, also non-recurring, that will be used for the Department of Military for the sole purpose of conveying the National Guard Armory to the town of Irwin government in Unicoi County. This facility was used a lot during the Hurricane Helene for storage of supplies, and our EMS and everyone was able to work out of that. So this would be a good purchase for our county. Number 20 is for actually $20 million for Irwin Utilities Authority. So what happened was the utilities was not, when we did the relief fund to give the counties, to raise them to 20% match, if they were a authority of their own, like Irwin Utilities, its own authority, they were not eligible for the match. We have 16,000 people in the town of Unicoi, and this was an entire wastewater plant. If they can't get assistance with that match, they're going to have to raise the rates on the citizens who have already lost their homes. And so we were just requesting this to help with that disaster. And 21 is the same scenario. It's for $400,000 for the gas utility, because in that area all those lines were ripped out, and their match would be $400,000, their FEMA match. And so we're just asking for some assistance with that. So with that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Jones. Next is Representative Himmer, item number 90, page 5. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Item number 90 is for the Travelers Rest House Historic Museum for amount of $155,200 non-recurring. The Travelers Rest is the oldest historic home open to the public here in Tennessee. It was built in 1799 by Judge John Overton, and does lots of great programming and historical relevance for our state. They're seeking this funds for use for ground penetrating radar survey and assessment of the museum's cultural collection. And then lastly, item number 91 for the University of Memphis is to be used for their research institute to conduct a national area acceptable blasting survey for the amount of $248,000. I had a group of individuals in our neighborhood association in West Nashville has had, it's close to a quarry, have had a number of interesting developments that they've had with regard to structures. And we did a survey of the quarry and looked around and learned also actually in 1980, the Department of Bureau of Mines, who's no longer there, has created a basically standards for ground vibration limits to prevent damage to structures. Well, since that time, there's been lots of technology and updates to the ground blasting and methods used, but yet we're still using 45-year-old requirements for that study. So the experts at the University of Memphis have agreed to undertake a study to update those limits and those research so we could use for our blasting in order to make it more safe and better for our homeowners. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Thank you, Representative Hammer. Next up is Chairman White, starting with item 202, page 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, go ahead. You're recognized, Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Committee. But for the purposes of this committee, I have several, but I'm just going to, item number 207 on page 11, Appropriation Amendment 195, dealing with the Cotton Museum. Right down on the river in Front Street, we have this historic building around the corner called the Cotton Exchange. It's been there for forever. Memphis at one time was the largest exchange for cotton in the world. And this is a place that if you've been in there, go in there, it's still done before the digital age and got a lot of history. And they are asking us, have been asking me for a couple of years. I got a $200,000 request just for refurbishment of the Cotton Museum to preserve this for educational purposes. It's just a fantastic history of the story of cotton, and we'd like to preserve that. And with that, I would just submit that one today, right now, and anything else I'll do in writing. Thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you, Chairman. Next, Representative Burkhart, page 1, it's number 12.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a request for Austin Peay State University, $26,627,340. This is to redo each side of the football stadium to turn it into culinary arts, ROTC, and national security studies. This was something that the university has needed for a long time, and now the use of that building, we can go ahead and get it. We don't want it to deteriorate anymore before they start renovating it. So we would ask your consideration on that. Item 13 is $1 million for, in Montgomery County, we have early TCAT. All of us know what TCAT is. We have early TCAT, which is at high school that allows the students who see their future in a trade to, we have HVAC, we have diesel mechanics already. When they leave high school, they're already being paid to do this work. We'd like to expand that some more, to expand our HVAC program and hopefully get into plumbing and electrical in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Representative Davis. Page 28, item number 2. You're recognized.
It's actually page 2, item 28.
I'm sorry.
But I did want to mention, I think I voted for all of your bills, Chairman.
You're way ahead.
But so item 28 has to do with IAMS Nature Center. And one of the things that they'd like to do is they're requesting $50,000 non-recurring to improve one of the trails there at the center. They have a loop trail that they only have one currently right now for wheelchairs, but this other loop trail that they would use this $50,000 to would improve that, and it would double the length of trail that people that could be accessed by those that are in wheelchairs. And on average, 13% of the U.S. population has some form of disability, with a significant portion of them having mobile disabilities. And IAMS Nature Center has over 620,000 visitors each year. And so that means that approximately over 80,000 of our citizens would be able to have access and enjoy that experience, or visitors as well. Then item number 29, it is $50,000 recurring for the RAFA Institute. And they're interested in using that $50,000 to have someone that is a coach, a business coach. And what they're going to train women in order to have a home-based childcare center. And they can be able to use that one individual to be able to train 350 providers per year. And so one trained provider can then serve up to 10 children in their home, in that home-based business, childcare business. And so with that, Mr. Chair, I'd appreciate your consideration. Thank you, committee.
Thank you very much. Next is Chairman Rudd. It's page 10, item 180.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. That is Amendment 134. I rarely ask anything from my district, and this is extremely important. I've met with the governor and TDOT about this, and hopefully we can get this in the budget this year. What it is, this is asking for a widening of the road and through the Rockville school zone. When this road was originally put in, it was 2-lane. There was one school and 2 developments. Now we have 3 schools, a high school, middle school. We have a new community facility, services facility, and we now have 10 subdivisions adjacent or in the school zone itself. It's bursting at the seams. I have the fastest growing district in the state, and I'm asking for help with this. We need to take this from, also the state is widening right before you get to this. About a mile down the road, the state is widening a 3-lane to a 5-lane. So it's going to feed a lot of traffic into the school zone on the main road here. So I'm asking to please allocate $6 million to widen this school zone. It is, the growth has just been exploded through this area, and we need help.
Thank you, Chairman. Next is Representative Martin, page 8, number 144. You recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. The Health Facilities Commission is requesting $1.1 million to establish 9 new positions within the Licensure and Regulation Division of the Commission. 4 of these positions would be surveyors dedicated to investigating complaints of licensed healthcare facilities. Currently, there are 330 providers that are overdue for recertifications. This will help them get their job done faster. 5 of these positions would address the current workload of the licensure division. 3 new roles would process initial facility licensure, change of ownership, and renewal of license. And with that, I ask for positive consideration. I also have $200,000 ask for the Gibson County Memorial Library. We do that each year with hopes of using those funds to improve our facility and make it more friendly for the environment and the community. Thank you.
Okay, those are your top 2 there. Okay, thank you very much. Next is Representative Fritz. It's item number 55, page 3. You recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This first one is a reduction. I have 7 total, 5 of which are to reduce the budget. This one would reduce the budget by approximately $38 million. This is the increase in the size of the THP force of over 100 people. I love my troopers. But this is part of that, what I would see as a 59% increase in our budget and the state budget request in the last 6 years. This also puts my local sheriffs, especially in the rural areas and the chiefs, at a competitive disadvantage in being able to recruit, because those folks are coming from the same pool. And it has an appearance, I've heard this from some of my law enforcement people, of centralizing law enforcement decision-making in Nashville. And so with that, I'd ask for your favorable consideration on this. Mr. Chairman, I can go through them quickly if you'd like me to.
Please proceed with 56.
Page number 3, item number 56. This budget request is to reduce the budget by $60 million. This is a well-intended item in the budget, I think. Certainly, we want to make housing more affordable for starter homes, but I'm afraid that this infusion of $60 million cash into this target market of the economy is going to result in an inflationary impact on the housing prices. So with that, I would ask for that reduction. Again, this is a supply and demand thing. If we increase the supply side and cannot increase the demand side and cannot increase the supply side, we're only going to drive those housing prices up. So I would ask for your favorable consideration. Page number 357. This one is a reduction of $10 million. This is from the arts. Certainly supporter of the arts. This would effectively transition that group from a group that provides some funding to a group that is advocacy for the arts. It would remain in place, the funding to allow the advocacy group, the staff to remain, but again, would remove the $10 million funding. I don't think it's the role of government for us to pick winners and losers in the arts. Page number 4, item number 58, Mr. Chairman. This would add a $5 million non-recurring. This one, I say again, would add $5 million in non-recurring, and it's resources for community-based counseling. Those pathways to prosperity for Tennesseans who have found themselves in a bad way with addiction or trouble. If we can help them be successful in recovery, that Tennessean improves both our state's economic and our prosperity. So I would ask for that $5 million to be added.
Number 59.
Page number 4, item number 59. This one is a reduction of $10,000 from the Department of Health. According to the Department of Health website, we issue ECP, emergency contraceptive pills. I'm a believer that life begins at conception. I think we're issuing abortion pills in our Department of Health. This $10,000 would come from the funding that would be used to provide those pills. Again, the website suggests that we provide these pills at all the sites and even suggests that they may be issued to minors. Page number 4, item number 60. The University of Tennessee Diversity and Inclusion Department, it is staffed with 0 people in the budget for this year, but yet has $5.8 million in that. I would offer that if we remove the staffing, we need to remove those dollars. I would hope that we would not try to enforce a worldview upon our students, but equip them to be able to think. I have students in my district and former students in my district that have faced what they would consider retaliatory measures in parts of the University of Tennessee because their worldview, this dear lady happened to be a Buddhist, but her worldview did not match up with what her instructors was. I would hope that our land-grant university would simply equip, again, our students to think and to make their own decisions and not try to change their worldview to what the professor seems to hold as right. And so I would ask for that reduction of $5.8 million. And then finally, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for your patience, page number 4, item number 61 is an addition of $200,000 to our budget. The Department of Veteran Services had requested 4 veteran service officers to be budgeted. They were only given 2. With the rate of veteran suicide in our state and around the nation, outreach is needed. In consultation with the folks that work in that department, they had intended to use these veteran service officers for outreach into our jails, our nursing homes, and our hospitals. So I would ask that you favorably consider adding that to the budget. And thank you all so much for your patience with me.
Thank you, sir. Next is Representative Reedy, page 9, item 172.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. And of course, Hurricane Helene brought out the spotlight on us, referring to our Tennessee State Guard. What was interesting, we found out that the Florida State Guard, Texas State Guard showed up in the disaster before any Tennessee members from the State Guard had shown up. And through conversation with Department of Military, we discovered that there's not a line item in the budget was number one. We're working on that. But at the same time, we have less than 500 folks who serve on the Tennessee State Guard. Whenever the President of the United States takes our National Guard folks away, that leaves us with our Tennessee State Guard. And my hope with this line item is it would be used for training and organizing for the Tennessee State Guard, truly making us a volunteer state once again, that we would be able to send our state guards to those disaster areas, as well as letting Texas and Florida bring them to us, with a $100,000 recurring going to the Department of Military. Mr. Chairman, the next item, 173 on page 9, it's a request for $75,000. I do reside in Houston County.
And this would be going to Houston County Fire Department. Because of the size, and 8,000 people make up Houston County, they are in need of what we call, or they call, a brush truck for these small fires to get down these back dirt roads and all of that and contain fires before they grow out of control. On the next page, it would be item number 174, and it has to do with Centerstone Military Service Budget Amendment. This amendment is a repeat of the one that was approved in the fiscal year 22, as well as 23 and 24 budgets, to provide behavioral health services to our military families. The military population has unique experience and needs a specialized treatment approach in order to best help them recover from the invisible wounds of war. Services are delivered by military culturally competent clinicians with firsthand knowledge of the military and its impact on family relationships and daily life. In addition to its licensed clinicians at the Stephen A. Cohn Military Family Clinic at Centerstone, located in Clarksville, Tennessee, Centerstone Military Services has 335 fully licensed therapists throughout Tennessee, currently serving 78 counties across the state. The additional funds will allow Centerstone Military Service to reach additional veterans and military family members throughout the state. With that, Mr. Chairman, I would appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Next is Chairman Hawk. And by the way, if you have multiple requests, it probably do better to like pick your top three if you've got 5, 6, or 7 on what you think is most important. Chairman Hawk, you're on page 5, number 84.
Thank you, Chairman Hulsey. You're all familiar with the Tennessee Men's Health Network that provides health screenings for us every year. This is to continue their work for $50,000 in both screenings and preventative education. That's item number 84. Item number 85 comes to us from an organization that is looking to called Child First, looking to get mental health services. They're an evidence-based home visiting model that employs specially trained licensed mental health professionals and care coordinators who meet with children and their caretakers in their homes 1 to 2 times per week for up to 12 months. It's proven that these folks have done well. I don't have it numbered, but item number 86, Chairman, I heard you mention 50 cents on there. I moved 50 cents for 2 pieces of bubble gum, one for you, one for me, to enjoy ourselves after a while. Thank you, Chairman and members.
Thank you, sir, and I'll vote for that. Next is Chairman Eldridge. Item number 39 on page 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, our first one is, I think I've got a code of 5425, is for Granger County and Bean Station, the city of Bean Station specifically. They have worked on a sewer project for a number of years. For whatever reasons, since I've been involved with Granger County, I can see a few things that's been thrown in their way to make this project happen. But as of right now, they have an understanding with the city of Morristown, specifically Morristown Utilities, to operate a sewer system for them. They did receive a grant a couple of years ago, $1 million. They also have a private investor who is willing to put $500,000 in this project, as well as donate a property for a pumping station. As we all know, everything has increased in cost. When the estimates came in, they've got about half the money they need. We're requesting one-time funding of $1.5 million to see this project through. It's vitally important for Granger County, specifically Bean Station. This will run out of Hamlin County into Granger County along 25. The area has several people that are wanting to invest in that area, but sewer is critical to them, and we ask for your consideration of that one. The second one that I have is Serenity House. It's a part of our Friends for Hospice. It is truly an end-of-life home. If families are having difficulty taking care of someone in the final stages of dying, they can go to Serenity House. They provide an excellent service, not just for Hamlin County, but I think for most counties around us, and we're asking for $50,000 on that one. And sir, we appreciate any consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Representative Mayberry. It's page 8, item 138.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. I'm requesting $75,000 for Safe House Program initiatives for victims of human trafficking for YAPAC. YAPAC is You Are Important PAC. They work out of Montgomery County and they help support veterans in homeless and housing. They support foster families. They mobilize for disaster relief, and they are invaluable for our tornado cleanup efforts that we had back in December 2023. And they provide domestic violence victims home and safe house for those rescued from human trafficking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Representative Shaw, item number 183 on page 10.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. This item is for the folks over at Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee, for their wellness program. What they do is they train students not only for future healthcare purposes, but to get out through the community and look out after and look out for elderly people over there, help keep them safe and keep them healthy. And they are making a request of, want to make sure I got the right one. Here we are, of $150,000 for that. And of course, my second request is for the Boys and Girls Club of Jackson. They're making a request for after-school program for computers and security software. Those are my top two, and we would appreciate any consideration you could give us.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Representative Chisholm. He's on page 2, item 22. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. I am here to advocate for the Christopher Pugh Center. It's for cognitive behavior-based workforce development training and mentor programs. I'm asking for $350,000. They are a program that takes formerly incarcerated individuals and teach them life skills, teach them work skills, and it's just a really good program that even I got a chance to mentor and volunteer it, and it's just one of my favorite programs in the world, and I hope that I have you all's consideration. I thank you all so much for hearing me out.
Thank you, sir. Next is Representative Hurt, page 7, item 117.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Committee. I'm here asking for $450,000 for Obion County. We had the Obion County River breached the levee, and in turn washed the levee out and flooded significant area throughout that bottom. And it resulted in, of course, needing to repair the levee, and then deemed approximately 60 acres unusable from the sand deposits. And so I'm just seeking some assistance to repair the levee to prevent future flooding and to remove the sand and reclaim the land that was covered with the sand deposits there. And any help and any consideration would be appreciated.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Representative Vital. He's on page 11, item 200.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm here on behalf of item 200, which is a grant of $300,000 each to the 4 accredited zoos across the state, which are in Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, and Memphis, and to the Tennessee Aquarium for capital improvements. Our zoos and aquariums contribute greatly to both economic development and tourism and education of our children. And so I want to just reiterate that on behalf of those institutions. Second request I have is item 201, which is on behalf of the Hamilton County Special Tactics and Rescue Service, which provides underwater and rescue services along Chickamauga Lake and supports disasters and emergencies along the shoreline of Hamilton, Ray, Meigs, and Hamilton. And that request is for $150,000. I would appreciate your consideration of both of these items. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is Chairman Hale, page 4, item 74.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. Item 74 is on behalf of Cannon County, a historic courthouse there that is in need of a new central heat and air unit. And the ask for them was for $250,000. And then I also have item 75, which was for DeKalb County. Same thing. A lot of our rural counties just struggling to take care of these things. Again, for a new central heat and air unit for the county courthouse in the amount of $250,000. Appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Next is Chairman Todd, which is on page 11, item 196.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have three items for you. Number 196 is for the Dream Center of Jackson, requesting $10,000 non-recurring for the Dream Center to be utilized for recovery and housing programs. The Dream Center is a faith-based educational ministry for women and mothers with children, rescuing many of them from some really bad situations and assisting them with job readiness, resume building, and other services that prepare these women and their families to achieve success. This organization is important to citizens of Jackson, Madison County, and has provided countless assistance to the West Tennessee region since its founding over 20 years ago. It is a real investment that pays great dividends over the years, with future decreases in incarcerations and increases in societal productivity. Item number 197 is for the Regional Interfaith Association, requesting $10,000 non-recurring. They provide many programs for the area, including, and they are a nonprofit, and they make a significant difference by providing food, clothing, and essential services to those in need throughout West Tennessee for over 43 years. They operate a food pantry. They're the heart and which is the heart and soul of the operation. And it's our hope that RIFA will continue to provide these services to West Tennesseans for many years to come. And last but not least is the Star Center Incorporated. It's a nonprofit. I'm requesting $200,000 non-recurring to be utilized for education, independent, and employment services for individuals with disabilities. The Star Center was founded in 1988 and since then has been a beacon of hope to individuals with disabilities in West Tennessee. Some of the services they offer are speech therapy, music therapy, and in-home companion care. Continued funding is of vital importance to this organization so they continue to fulfill their mission by helping those with disabilities make their dreams a reality. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Chairman. Up next is Deputy Speaker Zachary on page 12, item number 227.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. Members, quickly, 227 is Best Buddies International. We have blessed that organization by funding them each year that I've been here for the intellectually disabled. That's $50,000. Knoxville Leadership Foundation, we as a state have also supported the Knox Workforce Program. That's a multi-year program. That $1.5 million would help finish the building. It's a huge economic driver and partnership in Knox County. Next is East Tennessee Children's Hospital. That's self-explanatory. They are looking to create a pediatric residency program to help fill the need and bring in more physicians, because there's a serious lack, not only in Knox County and the East Tennessee region, but the entire state. Mr. Chairman, and last but not least, University of Tennessee is $500,000 to establish and operate the Law Enforcement Focused Leadership Development Training Center. Most of that is going out of state now, and so we're losing the economic benefit, and so that $500,000 would help them establish that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you, sir. Sir, next up is Representative Sparks, page 10, item 190.
Yes, thank you. Coincidentally, Chairman, I happen to have Vincent Windrow, who did our prayer today. I didn't set it up. He just happened to be here. And this is a project that I'm working with MTSU on to help restore an old African-American school. And the state historian, Dr. Carol Van West, is involved in this. I just wanted to read what he had to say. This is our state historian. There are so few surviving examples of segregated schools built in the rural South. At one time, there were thousands of them. Rutherford County has one of the best conditioned black schools that's left in the state, said Carol Van West, director of Center for Historic Preservation. We're asking for $137,000 for windows, doors, and to try to help this this project. And this is right down from the battlefield that we lost about 25,000 Union and Confederate soldiers during the Civil War. So that's what that request is. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Next is Representative Miller, page 9, item 158.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's see, go through these one at a time. Lemoyne on College, 1 million. City of Memphis, 25,000. City of Bartley, 25,000. Memphis Alumni Chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, 25,000. Appreciate consideration.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Next is Chairman's Moody, page 9, item 162.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm speaking on behalf of the Mid-South Military Museum, which is in Tipton County, and it is all about the military, especially our Vietnam War era, and they are just asking for $50,000 to help with their website, building repairs, and their display and preservation and restoration of the historical military artifacts, of which they have very many. And I thank you for your consideration for them. And also, I have the next one, Human Coalition. And so this program would provide for program services in the state. It has statewide application. And part of the things that they would be able to provide is telehealth for women across the state. And what they do from there is to connect the women with a center closest to them so they can get the more personalized, detailed care that they need for making their choices for life. And with that, I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. And looks like that completes the request for today. I just want to thank the committee for a long day and being here and working through this. If we have no other further business, we stand adjourned.